In this video, Jaime shows you how to set up a second powerful automation in EZLynx Retention Center. This one is for your high-risk customers. It's going to send them an email to let them know you're looking at it, and also will actually start the quote process automatically for those customers. Won't work all the time, but for many it will. So this is going to save you hours and hours of time. Over to you, Jaime.
So now we're going to create the automation that is the reverse of the one that we just created. So we're back in, you can back over to the retention center, hit setup automation, going to bring you back to this same screen that we started with the other one. And you want to hit applicant added to renewal list again. So again, we're going to hit add filter. We're going to filter out the policy type. Type is personal. And we're going to filter the policy risk. So then we go down here to risk, and it's going to be risk is high. And take this drop down to percentage change. And for this one, you would want to do is greater than or equal to, because the last one that we just did is less than. So you want to make sure you're encompassing all of the percentage risks. So for this one, it's greater than or equal to. Make sure you select that. And then 15. So you want to keep it the same as whatever you did for the other one. So if you chose 15, do 15 again. If you did 10, do 10 again. So once you have type personal, risk high, total percentage change is greater than or equal to 15%. You go next. Going to do the exact same steps except for the email that we send out. So we're going to send email. Again, if you have a template saved in here for your people that have seen an increase and that you're going to remarket them and be in touch, you can use that here. The EZLynx Agency Insights already has one for generic renewal in progress. We're in the process of reviewing to make sure they remain competitively priced. Once we have had a moment to review the renewals, we'll be in touch with you and following up. So again, if you have a custom domain, change this from to the assigned producer selection. So once you have your email in there, says what you want it to say, you hit save action again. And then hit create note. Do high risk. Or you don't have to create a note on this one. Again, I just better to always note everything. High risk renewal. So renewal is high risk with increase 15% or more. And then the last step that you want to add to this one would be to hit this execute automated quote. And you can add this step to the automation without having your template set up yet. It's just not going to execute the automated quote until you have your template set up. So it's not going to hurt anything on your automation by you having that step added before you have your template created, if that makes sense. So you can go ahead and add that step, or you don't have to, but that's the great thing. The other great thing about the automated rating feature is if you have this step added to your high risk renewal workflow automation, you don't even have to hit that get quote button in there. When you go in, if you have this step done and your templates are done and everything's set up and working correctly, when you go in and you expand on that line like I showed you, the quotes are already going to be there. You won't even have to hit the get quote button. The quotes that you'll see on the top are the ones that have recently been run as soon as the policy hit the renewal list. And then underneath it'll show the old quotes of the ones that were last run. So that's the other great thing about the automated rating is you don't even have to hit the get quote button. You can add it to the automation and it's just going to run. Overnight when it comes through, the download comes in, the renewal hits Retention Center, it's going to shoot out that email, put a note in the customer's file, and then execute that automated quote for you so that when you go in the morning and start looking at them, anyone that's in that renewal list, is a high risk with an increase, and they're going to want remarketed, and Hopefully, about half of them at least have the quotes already in there for you to look at because they didn't air out for some reason. So you can add that step to this automation before you have your templates created so that it's already done. When you get your templates in there and you apply them, then it should start working the way it's intended. So you can go ahead and hit next then. And then
While you're finishing that up, Jamie, I'm just going to say what a great way to save time. Because when you run EZLynx quotes, it does take a little time for it to go do its thing behind the scenes. So to be able to sit down in the morning and see what it has come up with already versus having to go back and click and say, get quote, why not do that, right? And it'll at least give you a head start on that requoting. That's really cool to see.
right. So high risk renewal, put in the description, disable it for now if you want to go back in and change it and look at it, or you can leave it enabled if you know you're good and you just want it to run. Your agency name should be defaulted, and then you hit save workflow. So then you will leave here today with working automations that go along with your retention center. You know that you can work on the automated rating. I do want to reiterate the automated rating feature is not perfect. It can get really frustrating at times when it's not working. But again, even if you can get it to work 50% of the time, that's still half of the renewals that you don't have to mess with that you prior to that would have had to go in, manually run it through the rater, see what quotes come back, and do the whole thing. So just try not to get frustrated with it. I hope you guys got a lot out of this retention center webinar.